Salomon in the house. First impressions since Ride 3, not my full review. That'll happen after 50 miles. Now, if you've been watching a long time on this channel, thank you for doing it, by the way. You know that Salomon is really my #1 choice for trail running shoes, especially aggressive trail running, which we have plenty of here in Colorado. But it's crazy, like there's just so many shoes out there to try, not only across the board from whatever, you know, even just like VJ, which is a new running shoe in my rotation, not to mention Hoka, Nike, New Balance, like all of them have trail running shoe options. But even within the Salomon lineup, the Sense Ride lineup, I have never tested because I prefer actually the Speed Cross lineup just because a lot of times for my bigger mountain days, I need to get a little more aggressive with respect to the tread pattern on the outsole. So anyway, the Sense Ride just hasn't worked its way into the rotation up until now. Here we go, Sense Ride 3. Have I found my Salomon daily trainer? That is the question to answer for all of you right now. Let's dive into it. 8mm drop, 27mm stack height in the heel, 19mm in the forefoot. For women's size 8, we're looking at 10 ounces even, and there it is on your screen in grams. In men's size 9, we're looking at 10.5 ounces, so about a half an ounce more. And then in my size, we are dipping under 10 ounces, but it's still coming in at 9.7 ounces for the weight of the Sense Ride 3. Onto that upper of the Sense Ride 3, it's a single layer mesh with quite a bit of overlay, what they're calling the SensiFit overlays, to basically help with that lockdown through the midfoot. I'm not necessarily saying that I can feel those overlays helping, okay? Even though I can see them, I'm touching them right now, but I need to do some more testing to really figure out, do those overlays, that SensiFit, what they're calling, is it actually making a difference, or is it more just kind of something to say in the technical specs of this shoe? But anyway, it does feel like a Salomon upper, absolutely. And it's that quick lace system, which some people love, some people don't love. I have learned to love the quick lace system, but it did take me some time to figure out, okay, how do I lace it up? And for the tongue on the Sense Ride 3, of course, I love it because it's gusseted. That's right, connected to that outer wall. It's like that inner lining inside the shoe is just spot on, so comfortable. I'm gonna put it into the plush category for the collar of the shoe and the heel tab, like nice and cushioned, really, really nice. Through the toe box, it has gentle overlays, not too much. So I could foresee if you're like really getting into creek crossings or a lot of puddles and water, like you're probably going to get a little wet or fairly wet through that toe box. And then the toe cap is not crazy as far as built up, and so if you're kicking a lot of rocks, who knows, you might feel a few rocks if you have a bad kick of the toe too, which every now and then, you know, we forget to pick our feet up a little bit going over rocks, and so we can kick some rocks every now and then. Anyway, that toe cap is not overly aggressive. And for that heel counter, let's do the test there. It has a little bit of give to it, which I actually prefer. I don't want the heel counter to feel like a rock back there, just totally, or a piece of, you know, hard plastic. Sometimes that can happen. So anyway, I like that heel counter. Overall, very comfortable upper. Now moving on to the midsole of the Sense Ride 3. Here we go. They're describing the midsole as, the word they're using is Optivibe, meaning the midsole construction and design is supposed to reduce and I've never heard of this before. This is new to me, but it's supposed to reduce the vibrations by, they're claiming, I think I read 15% through the midsole, which is supposed to help reduce muscle fatigue. That is fascinating. I think it's an interesting concept. I'm gonna have to definitely do plenty more testing to see if I'm feeling like the vibrations are reducing through the foot strike. Who knows? That might just be a little bit of technical jargon to to put out there. Anyway, I will continue to test, but overall, if I had to describe the midsole ride, I would say it's a dense landing, but not too firm. It just feels like, okay, there's definitely something under my foot in a good way. Like it has a little bit of give, but not too much. Very protective from rocks, absolutely. Like it's you don't feel like you're gonna be poking your foot at all with the density of that midsole foam through their SenseRide 3. And for the outsole, it's the Contra Grip outsole, classic to the Salomon lineup. No issues, a very classic Salomon tread pattern, 4mm lug depth, which does fine. In fact, man, okay, this is cool. I like this a lot, and this kind of connects to the daily trainer question. If you get into the Speed Cross lineup, which I love, you're talking about a higher lug depth, which makes it difficult to use the Speed Cross lineup for a daily trainer out on the trails. Whereas this guy, because the lug depth is a little lower through this outsole, boom. I'm gonna say I may have found, like my house is not right next to mountains and hills. I have to drive about 15-20 minutes. But if I did live right there and I had access to trails, I immediately, undulating hills and up, good vertical every single day, boom. I think this would be my Salomon daily trainer. So that answers I love it. Good stack height for good protection. Save the legs a little bit I think you use this shoe for a long run, but I think if I was saying, okay, I'm gonna use the SenseRide 3 for easy days as well, I would consider it just because it does have enough stack height there. Moving on to the fit and the comfort of the SenseRide 3, true to size for the length. And the toe box is spot on for me. If you have a really wide foot, you might want to, like Salomon is known for running a little narrower, but I'm liking it. I think I don't know, I think that toe box is actually pretty spot on considering Salomon usually runs a little narrower. So good work there. No issues with fit and comfort. Again, no issues. Like really great upper, very comfortable. Love the gusseted tongue. And then, it's a dense, firm ride, but overall a comfortable ride. For my positive and drawback of the Salomon SenseRide 3, positive has to be the comfort of the upper. And I almost went with the midsole because I'm really liking the ride right now, but I'm gonna lean in the direction of the upper is my number one positive. Drawback is actually gonna be the weight. Just a little heavy, but not too bad. Just a little on the heavier side for the SenseRide 3. For my durability prediction, we're gonna go 600 plus miles for the SenseRide 3. I think it could go the distance and probably more. So if you live somewhere with buffed out trails, I think this could work. Would it be my number one option out of every trail shoe out there? Probably not. But if you love Salomon and you only wanna purchase one Salomon running shoe moving forward, I would lean in this direction over the Speed Cross, whereas the Speed Cross I would use more so for a little more aggressive uphill work. So undulating hills, buffed out trails, but if you need to do some more aggressive climbing, this shoe could do that as well. Pretty excited, and yes, that price point, $120, that is amazing. Like, that's a great price point, especially considering the build quality. This shoe, I'm just telling you, it can go the distance. Now for the ladies, we're looking at $90. That is epic. So for the men, it's $120 right now from Running Warehouse, listed down below. If you need to pick up a pair, I'm bullish. I'm very bullish on the Salomon SenseRide 3. Oh, butter my bread. This is getting me excited. In fact, I'll probably run in this shoe tomorrow again or the next day. Probably, I think tomorrow. So very good. All right, everyone. Question of the day. Salomon fans, time to stand up. Down in the comments, what is your go-to Salomon running shoe right now and why? Like, why do you love that Salomon shoe? There's a lot out there. There's just a lot of options. They are making more and more road shoes. So whether it's a road shoe or a trail shoe, what do you prefer in your running shoe rotation? Butter my bread. Okay, everyone, it's exciting. We have a Salomon running shoe playlist because, again, I've run in a lot of Salomon shoes over the last 2, 3, 4 years, and it is listed right there. If you want to learn more, about Salomon running shoes. Onward and upward, onward and upward. Here we go. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.